Welcome to day 5 of our 12 days of Christmas. And today is 5 golden rings. And when I started thinking about my quirky interpretation of 5 golden rings, there was only one thought that came into my head, and that was donuts. So today we have 5 golden donuts as our interpretation of the 12 days of Christmas. Now, it probably is not quite what they were thinking when they wrote the poem at the beginning, back in the day, but I think it's perfect for today. And these donuts I don't think are going to last very long. There's been a few people eyeing them up in the house, and so I'm not sure they're going to be here on our display for very much longer. But for today, we have our 5 golden rings. But today I'm also going to share with you just a really interesting and unique decorating idea that includes and involves gold paint, which is one of my favorites, as you know, but it's very simple, and I think it's very easy and has a really nice impact on your Christmas dinner table. We're also going to share the next of our 12 days of kindness. We're going to pull a tag out, and I'm really enjoying just being mindful of giving back this season, so I hope you're enjoying that too. So before the donuts disappear, let me show you what I've been up to in the dining room and the decorating idea I want to share with you today. So as today is 5 gold rings, I've decided that I'm going to do my napkin on our table with 5 gold rings. Now, the easy way would probably be to go and get 5 gold napkin rings, but as I don't have 5 that are all the same, I started looking at easy ways that I could create something that just is a bit more unique. And I started thinking about my dried oranges. Now, if you've been following me, you'll know that I love dried oranges, and I just cut fresh oranges. I put them in my oven at a very low heat for several hours until they completely dry out. And I use them all in all sorts of decorating. I put them on Christmas trees and in decorating. And I even love to do things like grapefruits. You can do lemons. You can do a whole different variety of fruits. But I started thinking about the actual edge round the outside of these oranges, and it got me thinking about if I took out the middle of the orange, the dried middle part, I would be left with a ring, and then I would just spray paint it with my gold paint, and I would have these very unique gold rings that I would put on my napkin. So all I've done is I've taken now these dried ones. Now, if you don't have dried oranges, either you can dry some, or I've not tried it, but you could definitely try slicing the oranges fresh and just taking out the middle and spray painting the rind without drying it. I don't know how long that would last, but it would be worth trying. But if you're using the dried oranges, or even if you're using fresh oranges, you basically got to cut out the middle of the orange. And so the key I found to this is to not cut too close to the rind, because if you do that, you actually can easily break the outside. Whereas if you cut slightly inside with a little bit of a gap, it will the inside will pop out, and then you can just get the rest out with your fingers, which makes it a little bit easier and less likely for it to break. So you can see here that the inside just falls away, and you're left with this outside ring. And all I'm going to do is just tidy up these edges. Move my napkin out of the way. Clean up these edges, and then it is ready to be painted. So I've done 5 of these ready, and then all I did was I took them downstairs in the basement and I spray painted them. There you go, see, it's completely got a ring of orange. And all I did was I then took them downstairs and I spray painted them gold. And they've come up, it's actually a really interesting finish, because it's got you can see the texture of the orange on the outside. You can see the texture on the inside, and all of them are a little bit different shaped, a little bit misformed essentially. They're not kind of like all perfectly, but I think that's what adds to the character. So I've got 5 of them here, and they are now ready to go on my napkin. So there are various different ways you can fold your napkin, but I'm just going to fold it into quarters, and then I'm going to roll the napkin ready for it to go on the table, and add my 5 gold rings. So today I've chosen this really pretty pink rose dinner plate, and a small plate that's got just a smaller rose pattern on it. I'm going to put those together, and then I'm going to add my napkin with my 5 gold rings. And the thing I love about these orange rings when you spray paint them gold is they have a very, very unique texture. So you can actually see the texture of the orange peel with the paint, and it just makes, it's just very, very different. And so I'm pleased with that. Let me put my cutlery out, and our next place setting is ready to go. So it's 5 golden rings for our paper craft today. So I've got 5 of my blocks. I have my traced out rings, and now all I've got to do is put them on here and cut them all out. So we have 5 gold rings now. So we're up to day 5, and tomorrow we add day 6. So you'll be impressed to see that the donuts are still here. No one's eaten them yet. But before they do get eaten, let's find out what our next act of kindness is. Let me pull out a tag. Okay, so today's tag says, smile at everyone you meet today. Now, I always forget how much of an impact a smile can make. And it really does make a difference. If you think about it, when you go, if you're out and about and someone smiles at you, it feels good. So, and I find that when I'm out and about, often I get in the zone. I'm so busy thinking about where I'm going, what I'm doing, that you kind of forget who's around you. So I challenge you today to smile at everyone you meet and see how many smiles you get back. So I'm going to head off and work on smiling today, and I will see you back here tomorrow for day 6 of our 12 days of Christmas.